West Coast. Good morning in the Central. Good afternoon on the East Coast. I am Angela Nirvana, your hostess with the mostest on the Friends of ADOS TV channel, bringing you the ADOS hot topics and making the case for reparations some more. How y'all doing, family? How was your week? I really hope that it was inspirational, motivational, that you got a lot accomplished. I hope that you took the time out to pick up a brick and sling for the ADOS movement in any capacity that you could afford to spare with your time and your resources. I hope that you're looking up the ADOS candidates that have an ADOS agenda and reparations on their platform, and that you are supporting them, that you are canvassing for them, that you are phone banking for them, that you are donating to them. I really hope that that's how you utilize your week, because your action is needed by our children. Shout out Charles Allen. Blessings to my revolutionary sister. We need about 4 million sisters like you. God bless you in your struggle and journey, sister. Thank you, brother. I love us strong. I love us black. Y'all know this, right? That's why I gets it in. I'm everywhere these days. Yes, I am. And that's what I need for all of us, to be everywhere with this ADOS message. Ringing the alarm. It's not the house that's on fire, family, not just the house. We are on fire. Yes, we are. And I've shared this with you on every show. I've shared about it on Fox Soul TV. If you didn't get a chance to watch it, it's all up and down the Friends of ADOS TV, the Friends of ADOS Super PAC. It is on the Angela Nirvana wall. Hey, Alicia Jenkins, thank you for being on the live. You've got to check out that Fox Soul TV. They weren't expecting what I had to bring them, family, but I had to bring it and tell the truth like it is about ADOS. Okay? This is some serious stuff we're up against, family. This movement has been left in charge of all the woes in this country concerning ADOS, lest we become one of them, family. It's not okay to bury your head in the sand. It's not okay for you not to get involved. We need all hands on deck. Our children need all hands on deck. This is not the time to be afraid, family. You got to be fearless when you put ADOS in your mouth, because you come from that lineage of fearless men and women who died so that I can speak openly about this. I am mortified that I've got brothers and sisters in the South that cannot speak to our issues openly for fear of their lives, family. We are in 2020, and you cannot speak up in the South about parchment. I don't know if any of you saw my show on parchment with Mr. Spencer Spain, but do you know that you can be pulled over for a traffic violation and be thrown into parchment prison, which used to be a parchment plantation, with murderers? And did you see the images of parchment? I'll go back to with what one of the D.L. Hughley producers said when folks was commenting about loving my passion. Thank you. But he said, why isn't everybody as passionate as you? Our brothers are living in feces in Parchman Prison in Mississippi. These brothers, like us, descend from slavery. Our ancestors built all the wealth you see around you. And they cannot get a group together for the ADOS movement in the South for fear of losing their jobs, for fear of speaking up and telling it like it is. And sadly, I understand that fear. I had to pray about being the face of this movement after my daughter asked me please not to, because she knows about what happened to Martin and Malcolm. But when do we stop being afraid, family? When do we put it all on the line for collective upliftment? I can barely sleep at night because of the conditions of our people. That has to disturb you in the seat of your soul. I cannot bury my head in the sand. I cannot bury my head in my spiritual practice. Even Jesus walked amongst the folks that did not have a voice. He was there for the voiceless. And guess what? He called out the Pharisees and the Sadducees. Called them on the mat. Wasn't afraid. Now, I'm not going to get religious on you because I know y'all not on that. I'm talking about Jesus as a way shower. Nothing gets done until we stop being afraid, family. So, until they can build in the South, that's up to the rest of us, like me here in California, that can say it loud and proud without fear. Well, it's all relative. Thankfully, I work for a predominantly Black company. But I'm here to tell you, family, I am more vocal than even the South feels like they can be. They can't fight for what's right because it costs them too much. Why are we in 2020 and our people are afraid to speak up for reparations and a Black agenda? We got a lot of fires to put out, family. Way too many. And I want to shout out all of the chapters throughout the country that are doing this work. I'm thankful to you. Last night, we had a beautiful turnout for the ADOS SoCal chapter here in Los Angeles. We were out there teaching about ADOS, teaching about the movement and recruiting people to this movement. And they came out to support the ADOS SoCal movement and to support the beautiful firecracker, pistol, Tara Perry, okay, for City Council District 8. And I'm telling you, family, I need y'all's help. Do you know that Facebook is messing with me now? And I think it's because I use ADOS. I tried to post Antonio Moore's recent Tone Talk. They would not let that post come through. I tried copying the link and putting it in a post. They would not let it come through. He was discussing how these Democratic candidates in the last debate, not one of them spoke on Parchman Prison riot. And they all know about it. As Spencer Spain shared on my show on Parchman, both the Democrats and the Republicans are in bed with private prisons. And y'all want to get upset with me when I recommend that we move as a block and invoke the primary strategy of the ADOS movement to show up and put ADOS on the ballot for president and to vote Democratic down ballot to protect the 41% of us who are benefiting from government assistance. I'm talking total gridlock in the White House. Let Trump get it. My priority is not unseating Trump. My priority is ADOS. So if Trump gets it and the Democrats got the Congress, let them fight and earn all that money that they're stealing. Because they ain't doing nothing with it. It's not trickling down to the black community. Lock it up. Let them fight each other the way our brothers got to fight in Parchment Prison for survival. Have you seen those prisons? You need to go onto the Google. I'm going to put some images today to show you the conditions of our people. And it is not okay for us to be okay and them living in those conditions. Somebody had the unmitigated gall to say, well, they're in prison. I just told you. I'm trying to calm down. I just told you you can be moved, you can be stopped for a traffic violation or be caught with a nickel bag of funk. And they are putting you in there for free slave labor. Antonio Moore said an astounding statistic of 4 billion with a B women in the whole entire world. 600,000 to 700,000 women are in prison. Of 18 million ADOS black men in this country, there are around 800,000 in prison. Private prisons have got to go. We have got to break the back of this. They set us up every time. And the Democrats are complicit. Their pockets are being lined just like the Republicans to keep this racket going. And that's why none of them were mortified on that stage about it. Of course they're not going to be. They're comfortable. They've stolen all of the wealth that was created on the backs of our ancestors. And who are we to be afraid to speak up and out, to be afraid to pick up a brick, to be afraid to donate to candidates who are running on an ADOS agenda? They're all over the country running, and they need your support. So last night, we had a beautiful turnout at our very first call to action to both reintroduce ADOS SoCal and to promote Tara Perry. We have a difference of opinion in the way we should be led down here in LA. So there's ADOS Los Angeles and there's ADOS SoCal putting in work. And we need your support. And we need for you to spread the word, to get folks out. Back to my earlier point, Facebook is messing with me. Someone got me shut down for 3 days, some hater. Facebook won't tell me who. Facebook don't get my side of the story. But Facebook, because they see me rocking hard for ADOS, decides to restrict me without a conversation, without an exchange. I am looking forward to the day when we have a competitive platform full of ADOS that can say it loud. I'm ADOS and I'm proud. I am sick of Facebook's foolishness. Over it. So stay tuned, because I may be shutting stuff down here and getting reestablished in the YouTube space. I'm already going to going to multi-stream. Okay, but I may not even give Facebook the privilege of my advocacy and my activism in their space. Because today they wouldn't even let me post Antonio Moore. And I have a feeling that because I'm using ADOS in everything I talk about, they're coming for the movement. Because we've upset these elections. They can't get a pulse on the ADOS since we've been putting in work, spreading the word everywhere we go. I got another show on AM Spotlight Radio at 12 noon, acceleratedраdio.com. Y'all need to tune in, spread the word, because guess what? Facebook would not let me post it on my own wall. Let me get you the accurate site. AccelerateedRadio.net. AccelerateedRadio.net. Shout out to Crystal Glass, who's having me on her show for the second time. I appreciate you, sis. Much love to you. So we putting in this work. I'm everywhere they invite me. I got another event that I have to go to after this show, but before the 12 noon show. I'm everywhere. I need everyone else to be everywhere, ringing the alarm. And if you can't be there, at least support us. Support the candidates. Find out who they are. We've got Tara Perry here running for District 8. Support her. Donate. Send people to the meetings when we have them. Share everything I'm able to successfully get through until I find another solution from Facebook constantly messing with me and censoring the things I've got to say because I'm on ADOS. I wonder if they do this to the white supremacist. It's rather frustrating to try to get the word out, to try to share what's happening, and can't because they're constantly shutting me down. But anyway, I digress. We had a great turnout. Tara made some incredible talking points. I'm going to ask Crystal Glass to invite her onto the AM Spotlight Radio show on another segment since she's busy with the campaign right now. And we had a lot of wonderful millennials there who are interested in getting involved. And that's who we need to get involved, family. I want to shout out my boomers. I don't mean to dump on all of you. We've got some powerful ADOS boomers working hard in this movement. If you're an ally, I want to thank you. Sometimes folks say, you too hard on Black immigrants. No. Family, I'm having my own little summer over here. Forgive me. No, I'm not trying to be hard on the Black immigrants. But let me tell you something. I don't hear the Black immigrants speaking from the chest about our reparations and our agenda. And when I give y'all the statistics that of 107 trillion, Black folks only share 3 trillion, 90% of us share 700B with a billion, 10% share 2.3 trillion, and Black immigrants make up 10% of the Black population in this country. Can't you do the math? As to who is benefiting in large part, it's not to say that every Black immigrant in this country is sharing the 2.3 trillion. It's not to say that every ADOS in this country is amongst the 90% sharing the 700 billion. Some are overlapping, but by and large, immigrants are doing far better than the ADOS who built this country, and that is by design. Okay? Don't get it twisted. We have a government that's been complicit in undermining us as descendants of slavery in this country since we were emancipated. Given with one hand, taken with the other. So no, we've got some Black immigrant allies. Props to you. But for the rest of you that want to talk against our reparations and our Black agenda, Joy Ann Reid, Who is the other one? Roland Martin. I don't have nothing for you if you're talking against a debt that is owed for slavery and accrued ongoing systemic racism, oppression, and disadvantage in the country our ancestors built. I got nothing for you. Stop talking like it's all kumbaya with black immigrants, like I'm doing something wrong to call them out. These people are masking our failure. Down here in Los Angeles, these Nigerians are worth about 75,000 liquid to ADOS 200 liquid. We have gone from 15% in Southern California to 6%. And all the education and job experience in the world does not close the racial wealth gap. We ain't got to wait till 2053 to be without wealth. We don't have no wealth. Jay-Z's money, he's a black immigrant, it's not your money. Stop living vicariously through these do-for-selfers. With what? I've already told you of $23 billion for SBA lending. Barack Obama gave less than 1% to ADOS. Even George Bush gave 6%. All this benign neglect. Folks burying their head on our issues because you're comfortable. Well, don't let it take for you to be uncomfortable before you do something about it. Don't let it take that. Get involved and start to care, because guess what? As Spencer Spain said, it's not okay for one or two of us to be okay and the rest of us fail. We lose culture that way. We become extinct. While all these other groups come up and capitalize on who we are, our essence, how we get down, how we flow. They wish they had this melanin. They wish they had our swag. They're always somewhere trying to reinvent it, whether it's in a tanning booth, on the beach, Botox, watching everything we do, trying to sing like us, just trying to co-opt who we are, to make us extinct so that they think that they can keep who we are and get rid of us at the same time. As long as any of us is living like dogs in this country, none of us are free. You've got to understand that, and you've got to ring the alarm until you weed through the nonsense to get the people that believe and think like you. That's what you've got to do. You've got to persist. Do you think Malcolm had it easy? He put his life on the line for us. And his family had to couch surf afterwards. We have to be there for each other, family. We are all we've got. And that vote is all you've got. You don't have the money to pay for your politicians. Stop all this being afraid of Trump. He ain't the first racist in office. He won't be the last. And oh, by the way, there are a lot of black white supremacists running around here. Stop acting like it's not. They're black on the outside, but very white on the inside. And they are a part of undermining everything we do. They are a part of being in office and not having any of those resources trickle down to our communities. They are complicit. They've got blood on their hands. They are the enemies, and they look like us. So don't be fooled, family. All skin folk ain't kin folk. So like Mike asked me on the show, when, if ever, will reparations happen? I went to Mara Johnson Shealy, U.S. Senate candidate for Georgia, when she says the hardest part about this movement is convincing ADOS that we need reparations. They want to talk about this bootstrapperism. Pull yourself up by your bootless straps, as if we haven't done that already and we're on the bottom in the fight of our lives to prevent from becoming the permanent underclass in the country our ancestors built with their lives. We are the legs of the table everybody else is eating from. Miseducation for the school to prison pipeline starting as early as preschool. Folks with degrees having to drive Uber and Lyft and do DoorDash just to make a living. Can't be home to raise their kids, so the streets raise their kids. Then the police can annihilate them with impunity. And folks want to tell me, calm down. Really? Really? Don't do this and don't say that and ooh, woo, woo. I'm calling it like it is because I got a 15-year-old. And I'm not leaving her this shit show. I'm not. She will know I went down fighting for her. Once you see what's happening, you can't not see what's happening. And I refuse to ignore it and go assume a lotus position. God works through me and through you. You are the face of God. You are the hands and the feet and the heart. So if it's going to get done, we got to get to work and put in some work and get some action behind it. And it is hard convincing our own people to get together and vote as a block. You got agents of chaos out here acting like folks can just do it for themselves while they take your money. Do it for yourself while they take your money so they can live in $2 million properties and make you laugh. Ain't nothing funny. Nothing is funny. Look outside your door. I don't have to give you no statistics. We predominantly are the homeless ones, living on Skid Row and in our cars out here in LA. I am blessed. I am blessed. But for the grace of God go I. Do you understand me? Because I've almost been there. I've almost been there. And that's another thing y'all got to start doing. Tell the truth. It shall set you free. Stop acting like you ain't one paycheck or one $500 catastrophe from being right out there with them. Tell the truth. So our job is to convince other ADOS that this is a debt that is owed and that without it we are finished, and that this is the last election cycle to make that kind of impact because we're quickly being replaced by illegal immigrants that are able to get driver's licenses We are 5 minutes from them being able to vote. And they are forming super PACs to unseat Trump. And the Democrats are in support of opening up these damn borders where I'm at, where my daughter is at, in a city where you are required to speak Spanish before they'll even interview. And even if you speak it as fluently as if you were born Hispanic, you don't have the complexion for the protection. You have no social capital in these spaces for hiring. These are white folks and Hispanics hiring each other. They're not hiring you. And that's why you can be degreed with a ton of job experience and have to drive Uber or Lyft or DoorDash and have a master's degree. Because if nobody's in a position to hire you, how are you going to get employment? How are you going to get W-2 employment? It's to the point where black folks don't even look for work anymore. That's how long they've been interviewing down here in Los Angeles. I would venture to say all throughout the nation. So stop burying your head in the sand because you're comfortable, because you're okay. Because guess what's going to happen sooner than later? You will have to become the reparations for your own family if we don't get reparations from this government who put us in this position. That is who owes us. I'm sorry for going off on a tirade. I'm not shouting at those of you who are doing the work. These are for the newcomers that have probably found out about me through whatever resource and don't really understand. They need to understand, and we're running out of time. We are already in the election year. So I'm going to be doing special editions. I'm going to be wherever they need my voice to tell it like it is for ADOS. That's the only priority I've got. Stop asking me to vote for Biden, who is the author of all this. I'm trying not to cuss. He is the author of the 94 crime bill, and he endorsed and celebrated Bush for going to war with Iraq. Who do you think is on those front lines? This government doesn't even have to draft because they're offering to pay off student loan debt for our kids to go to the front line. They're not sending their kids. But y'all want me to show up and vote for Biden because of Trump? No. Bernie Sanders recently said Cardi B should run for office. And no to reparations, even though we've given them, since the 2013 report, $233 billion with the B dollars to Israel for a Holocaust we had nothing to do with. We got 6 years of undocumented payments to Israel that I can't find on Google. $233 billion by 2013. And Bernie Sanders is a no to our reparations. But y'all want me to vote for him as he sits up here and says Cardi B should run for office. But I'm wrong for screaming and going off to the country, blasting people's shows and telling it like it is. I'm wrong. I'm wrong for endorsing show up, filling ADOS for the president this primary election cycle and voting Democratic down ballot to protect our 41%. Gridlock that. I'm sorry, family. I'm not screaming at you. I'm screaming at the stuff, okay? I'm screaming at the stuff. I'm feeling my people. I'm tired of walking over them. It ain't their fault. I know how they got there. They simply don't have the resources to be American. And that's by design. It's systemic racism. And the government is the leader of the pack. Know your history. I'm at 9:40. My apologies. I meant to state earlier. Forgive me, family. I meant to state earlier that my illustrious guest, Cynthia McDonald, wasn't even scheduled for today. I am moving so fast on so few hours of sleep because we're in an election cycle that Shirley Huzar was supposed to be my guest today. And I looked at the calendar wrong and put Cynthia. And when I called her to do a test, she's like, sis, it's not till next Saturday. And she's working on MLK. So she couldn't drop what she was doing. She couldn't drop those things to come on the live today. She will be here next Saturday. Let me see. I see some activity. I'm going to go through the comments while I have a few minutes with you, wonderful people, left. Okay, ADOS CT is in the building. Thank you, Alicia, for being on the live. Charles Allen says, trust and believe. I'm on the same level. Your brother Charles is on the same level. We come from the same school. God bless you. Mwah! I love you, Black. I love you strong. Thank you, Charles. Hi, Harris Walker. Good morning, sis. I found I can't help the children until I can help the parents. Brother, you ain't ever lied. Ooh, dude, Jesus, you are so right. Alicia says, I sure did it. I sure did. It was awesome. Where do we find Fox Soul TV? Oh, that's Deidre. Oh, that's my church family. I love you, Deidre. Thank you, Bisons in the building. You can find the Friends of ADOS TV episode with Mike Hill and Donnie. I can't remember his last name. It's called Mike and Donnie. If you look anywhere in my feed or the Friends of ADOS TV or the Friends of ADOS Super PAC, or if you look YouTube, just put Fox Soul TV ADOS, you should be able to find that edition where I lit the stage up. I mean, it is what it is. Y'all know me. Y'all been rocking for what, 4 months? Y'all know. Y'all know what time it is. Shout out to Lorene Pryor Trowell. Thank you for the applause. Yes, yes. Oh, thank you, Antonia Edwards. Good afternoon, Angela and the ADOS family. Good afternoon, Antonia. Jamar. Hey, thank you for being on the line. Good afternoon. Dawn Page. Oh, that's my sister from another mister. That's right, Angela. I love it. See, y'all put a battery in my back. That's what happened. Good afternoon, Jamar. Say good afternoon to Dawn. Don't you just love the ADOS love? Oh, my goodness. They're saying hello to one another. Mark Hudson is watching. Thank you for being on the live. Dawn says, preach, mama. My own mama is in the building. Hi, mommy. Good afternoon. I love you, mommy. Close your ears when I curse, okay? You already know your child. Don Page says, really? I don't know what to what. Marvy Taylor Smith, ADOS. Yes, we all should be upset. You're right. Yes, all should be screaming. You're right. Good morning, Marvy. Anger gets shit done. Yes, it does. Y'all can see these bags under my eyes. I got a cold, but the train has left the station. Okay. Thankful for my parents, for Marvy Taylor Smith. Girl, I'm thankful for my mama, my sisters. They have been my reparations. They know. Thank you, mommy. Thank you, sissies. They know. Let's see here. No, Bernie, I don't want to burn. That was Marvy. Yeah, I'm not. I used to work for his campaign, family. And he has really disappointed me. But the disappointment didn't just start with no to reparations. When we put all of our money and our energy in his first campaign and he told us to go vote for Hillary Clinton, and then he started on that Russian narrative, like that is what undermined the election. When Hillary won the popular vote by 3 million, you don't blame the Electoral College, but you blame the Russians. See, I have a problem with this nonsense that they're spinning. I got big problems with Bernie this election cycle and the silliness that he's on. Okay. Oh my God. Otis is in the building. Y'all, Otis is just the man. He is always making comments on Bison Yvette Carnell's show, Breaking Brown, on YouTube. I got to give Howard University some love. I attended there. And Otis is always calling in with that fire. What is Otis saying now? Where is SH? That would be interesting. I don't know what SH is. That's interesting. Otis, if you still there, put it in there. I can't see all the comments, family. They only let me see some of the comments. Carson, thank you for being on the live. You were great on Mike and Donnie. It was an honor and a privilege to represent ADOS on that show. I was trying not to make it my show because y'all know I was born to talk. But that was very difficult. It's very difficult for me to share. Oh, Lord, I'm working on it, family, but I'm glad you like my contribution. Marvy says, right. Yes. Oh, Deidre says, yes, our ancestors built this country with no benefit to them. Every time I am made aware of wealth in America, I think about our ancestors' blood, sweat, and tears in their lives. Deidre, you ain't the only one. You know, since coming into the movement, it's become increasingly hard to be in the courts where I work and listen to how white folks are taking 2 and 3 week European vacations when I can't afford to take time off even to go across the country to visit with my mother and my loved ones. This is a problem when we are responsible for building all the wealth that they benefit from. You got to be mighty comfortable to be able to take off practically a month to take your family to Europe and tour up and down. That's our money. Oh, Otis shared a link on YouTube. You must watch it. Oh, Shirley Huzar. Oh, that's what he means by SH. So let me go back to the question. Where is Shirley Huzar? That would be interesting. Oh, she's coming. She was supposed to be here today. I didn't send her the reminder, Otis. But you will see that show advertised, and it's going to be lit. As a matter of fact, shout out to Shirley Huzar. She was the one that got me on the Mike and Donnie show. She was the one. Republican Shirley Huzar, who often reminds me, Angela, reparations of the Black agenda is not a party thing. It's an ADOS thing. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay. So Shirley's coming on the show. I have to reschedule her because she was supposed to be here today. And well, you know, I'm trying to scroll down, but like I said, this little silly app, Lord have mercy. Okay, all I can see is stop with Otis for Shirley Huzar. Okay, family, I got to get on to tune in to acceleratedраdio.net at 12 noon. They're going to be asking me more questions about the ADOS hot topics and making the case for reparations some more. They're going to be asking me about the movement, what we're doing, what we've accomplished, which you know has been much. Some of those leaders are in this live right now. Follow them, befriend them. They're always sharing what's happening in their neck of the woods. Like I said, we are at 30 chapters strong and counting. We need everybody to pick up a brick. I need you to consider showing up. I don't care if you got a punch-in ballot, a fill-in ballot. I need ADOS this primary for the president and vote Democratic down ballot to join the ADOS movement and our primary strategy. The goal, family, is to get the candidate who's running through the general to put reparations and a Black agenda in their mouths. And the only way they know that we put ADOS in lieu of the president is if we write it in, no matter what kind of ballot you've got. My friend told me that if you just skip it, they won't even know it was us. We need them to know that we came and we didn't see anything to exchange for our vote. When it comes to which Democrats you want to vote for down ballot, research. We have got to become more politically educated, family. We are on fire. And I'm not okay if all of us aren't okay. I can't sleep at night. And none of you should be able to either. And we are the ones with privilege. Okay? In the little 700 billion we share, my lights are on, my house is warm, I got food in the fridge to heat up, I've got internet to come to you live. Our working homeless living in their cars and on Skid Row don't have a voice. I am that voice, and so are you. Okay? So they need us to come up with strategy and move as a block. And like I said, this is a primary strategy. It's subject to change, but we've got to send a message to the Democrats and to that candidate that's running in the general. You put reparations and an ADOS agenda on your platform running through the generals, or you get what you get. And family, the government will be on full out gridlock if we give them a Democratic Congress and Trump wins. So be it. Nothing will get done. And maybe in 2024, the Democrats will come to their senses and stop ignoring us for gays, for immigrants, and for Republicans. Hello, somebody. Perhaps they'll stop ignoring us in 2024. Sometimes, family, things have to fall apart to come together. And we have got to be politically educated. Join Breaking Brown on Monday and Wednesdays with Bison Yvette Carnell. She is a powerhouse, and she's always helping to make it make sense. And join Antonia Moore from Tone Talks on Fridays. YouTube. You've got to be politically educated. We've got to move as a block. We've got to stop the infighting and join arms. They can't kill all of us. Okay? Is that all I had to say? Carson says the hardest thing is getting Black folks to even listen. We are henpecked as a people. We are whitewashed as a people. We are whitewashed. That's by design. They don't want you to know the truth of who you are. We are an extraordinary people. And that's why there is a mission to annihilate and make us extinct and make us passive and make us afraid. My daughter can't eat fear. My grandchildren one day cannot eat fear. We are owed this money. The blood is in the soil. This is not welfare. It is a debt that is owed for slavery, Jim Crow, and accrued ongoing systemic racism, oppression, and disadvantage. Slavery hasn't stopped. It's just taking on new identities called miseducation, homelessness, lack of affordable housing, joblessness, unemployment, underemployment, private prison industrial complex, military industrial complex. All of it is slavery by another name. My private summer is happening again, family. I'm very misty. So let me get off my soapbox. I got to get over to another event before the I Am Spotlight radio show. That's Crystal Glass's show at acceleratedradio.net. Please tune in. If you have questions, I think they're taking callers or they're taking questions through the chat like I do. Yeah, I'm ringing the alarm, family. I love us Black. I love us strong. ADOS, ADOS, ADOS. That's your lineage, and that's this movement. And with that said, family, y'all know how I do. I can't let you go until I pray my prayer of protection, because you know I am a licensed teacher in my faith. I'm a New Thought Christian. And we believe that you are made in the image and after the likeness of God. You are the face of God. You are the hands of God. You are the feet of God. And with that said, I got to pray over us because it gives me peace of mind to know that I prayed over you and that I left this to the very power that drives this body, that animates this body, that thing that we cannot see, that thing that we ain't got to control, but it woke up each and every one of us. I call it God. And when I pray this prayer of protection, it gives me a peace of mind that me, you, and the movement and the allies are in the hands of that spirit. So if you don't want prayer, you are free to leave the live right now, because I'm praying right now that the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever ADOS and its allies are, God surely is. Until next Saturday, when I'll actually have Cynthia McDonald on the line talking about all of the ADOS hot topics, especially mental health and why lineage therapy is a part of our reparations that we're demanding. Visit ADOS101.com. It's not just a check. You make it a beautiful, God-inspired rest of your day, family. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Until next week, peace, family, and love.